Hey Bills Mafia, welcome back to the channel, your #1 source for all things Buffalo Bills. The Bills are working hard this offseason to build a championship caliber team. We were so close to getting past the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and now the front office is looking for that missing piece to get us over the hump. And today we've got two massive stories to talk about. A bold trade prediction has the Bills landing Myles Garrett in a blockbuster deal. And on the flip side, Von Miller's future in Buffalo is in serious doubt. Before we break it all down, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you love Bills content. It helps the channel grow, and you won't want to miss any of the big offseason moves. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with the big one. Joe Buscaglia of The Athletic has floated a massive trade idea, the Buffalo Bills trading for Myles Garrett. Now, let's be clear, this isn't just some random rumor. Garrett himself has reportedly requested a trade, and the Bills have already been linked as a top destination. So what would it take to get him? Here's the proposal. Bills receive Myles Garrett. Browns receive first-round pick plus AJ Epenesa. That's a steep price, no doubt. Losing a first-rounder is always a big deal, and Epenesa has been solid. But let's be real, Myles Garrett is different. In 2024, Garrett played all 17 games despite battling nagging injuries and still put up 47 tackles on 14 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Those are elite numbers. And for a Bills team that's trying to get past Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, adding a game record like Garrett could be the move that finally puts us over the top. Let's talk about why this trade is actually worth considering. Garrett is a game changer. We've seen elite pass rushers make all the difference in playoff games. Think of Von Miller in 2021 with the Rams. Garrett could have that same impact for Buffalo. Buffalo needs a dominant pass rusher. Right now our pass rush is good, but not great. Greg Rousseau is solid. AJ Epenesa and Leonard Floyd have had their moments. But imagine pairing Garrett with Rousseau. That's a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. The Super Bowl window is now. Josh Allen is in his prime. We don't have time to wait on young draft picks to develop. This move would be a win-now statement from the front office. Now, let's be fair. There are reasons why Buffalo might not pull the trigger. Cap space is a real issue. Garrett isn't cheap. His contract would take up a huge chunk of Buffalo's salary cap, which means we'd have to make tough cuts elsewhere. Giving up a first-round pick is risky. Yes, Garrett is a star, but losing a high draft pick means we wouldn't be able to add a top wide receiver or offensive lineman, both of which are also big needs. Injuries are a concern. Garrett played through injuries last season, but can he stay fully healthy long term? So, what do you think, Bills Mafia? Would you pull the trigger on this trade? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's shift gears to another huge story. The uncertain future of Von Miller. When the Bills signed Miller to a 6-year, $120 million contract in 2022, the expectation was that he'd be a dominant force. But now, at 36 years old, he's just not the same player. Last season, Miller played in a limited role and finished with 6 sacks, 17 tackles, 7 tackles for loss. Not terrible numbers, but nowhere near what the Bills expected when they gave him that massive contract. Now, according to NFL Network's Matt Okada, the Bills might be forced to release Miller unless he agrees to a major pay cut. Right now, he's set to make $23.8 million next season. And let's be honest, that's just too much for a situational pass rusher. If the Bills do move on from Miller, where could he end up? Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are always looking for veteran pass rushers, and Miller could be a solid addition for a Super Bowl contender. Detroit Lions. Aiden Hutchinson needs a veteran partner on the edge. Miller could provide leadership and a pass rushing boost. Carolina Panthers. They're rebuilding their defense and could use a veteran presence like Miller to help young players develop. So now the big question is, should the Bills cut Von Miller or try to keep him at a lower price? Let me know what you think in the comments. The Bills made a mid-season move to bring in the veteran receiver from Cleveland, hoping to add another weapon for Josh Allen. But let's be honest, it didn't quite go as planned. Cooper struggled with injuries, inconsistency, and drops, leaving fans wondering if he was worth the investment. Now, Cooper is a free agent, and NFL.com's Kevin Patra has urged teams, including the Bills, to be cautious about signing him. So what should Buffalo do? We're breaking it all down, but before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest Bills news and analysis. All right, let's get into it. When the Bills traded for Amari Cooper, expectations were high. He was supposed to be the missing piece in Joe Brady's offense, a reliable veteran who could take pressure off Stephon Diggs and give Josh Allen another dynamic target. Instead, Cooper's impact was minimal. In 8 games with Buffalo, he recorded just 297 yards. 2 touchdowns, averaged only 14.9 yards per reception, not exactly the numbers the Bills hoped for. Injuries played a role, as he missed 2 games with a wrist issue, and there were even reports that doctors recommended surgery. Instead, Cooper fought through the pain and stayed on the field. But was that the right decision? Patra raises a fair question. Was Cooper's drop in production simply due to injuries, something he can bounce back from? Or is this the beginning of the decline we often see in receivers over 30? Before we write him off completely, let's not forget that Amari Cooper is just 1 year removed from a 1,250-yard season with the Browns. When healthy, he's proven he can still be a WR1 caliber player in the NFL. Here's why Buffalo might consider bringing him back: a full offseason with Josh Allen. Chemistry is everything in the NFL, and Cooper joined the Bills in the middle of the season. With a full offseason, he could build better timing with Allen and fit more comfortably in Brady's system. The WR market is thin. If the Bills let Cooper walk, who replaces him? The free agent class isn't exactly loaded with top-tier wide receivers, and Buffalo doesn't have a top draft pick to land an instant impact rookie. He won't demand a huge contract. After an underwhelming year, Cooper's market value might not be as high as it once was. If the Bills can bring him back on a reasonable deal, it could be a low-risk, high-reward move. On the flip side, there are plenty of reasons why Buffalo might decide to let Cooper walk, their age and durability concerns. Cooper is turning 31 this season, and we know how quickly wide receivers can decline once they hit their 30s. If the injuries continue, the Bills could end up paying for another disappointing season. The everybody eats mentality. The Bills' offense was at its best when multiple players were involved. Instead of investing in a high-profile veteran, Buffalo might be better off spreading the ball around and developing younger talent. Cap space issues. The Bills have big decisions to make regarding their cap situation. If re-signing Cooper means they can't make other key moves, such as improving the offensive line or bolstering the defense, it might not be worth it. This is shaping up to be one of the most important off-seasons in recent Bills history. Should we go all in on Myles Garrett and make a blockbuster trade? Should we move on from Von Miller and clear cap space? What other moves should the Bills make to finally get past the Chiefs? I want to hear from you, Bills Mafia. Drop a comment below with your thoughts. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more Bills news and analysis all off season long. Thanks for watching. And as always, go Bills!